Well, good evening. It's time for a beer review. Not one, but two beer reviews. Or two into one, because it's the same beer. I have two glasses, the English straights, and got the little etching on them. Two identical glasses, two identical beers. Which is which? They're both Samuel Adams Boston Lager. One is from Boston, USA, not Boston, Lincolnshire, which is not too far away from me. And the other is from Kent, Shepherd Neame, in Faversham, Kent. Now, for many years, Shepherd Neame have been responsible for the distribution of the US version, but they were also licensed to brew the very same beer in the UK. Uses the same yeast as the US version. It's been cultivated and brought across to the UK. So obviously there's been a lot of attention and care to make sure that this one from the States is the same as this one in the UK. Unfortunately, I can get hold of both at the same location. So now we're going to find out, do they taste the same? So let's go. You can see the only real difference is the size of the bottles. Very, very slight difference. Obviously ours is the standard 330ml, and the US version, although labelled up for export in metric, is 355ml, so you get a little bit more out of the US than you do the UK, but that's also reflected in a few pennies more for the US one. So better keep the bottles so I know which one's which. Go for the US pour first. And now the UK. Sounded like the US one had a little bit more hiss on the bottle. Certainly quicker pouring out. Right, colour wise. UK, US. Bit difficult to judge, but they are the same to me. And a light. Go for aroma. Slight malt with the hop smell. More of a lagery smell with the English one. Not such a pronounced malty hop combination with the English. And if we look, bear in mind the American one was poured first. Look at the heads. Same glasses, cleaned in the same water and polished in the same cloth. Let's come back. Clearly a difference there. So, visually, it's 1 point to the US. Aroma's beginning to fade a little bit now, but there is more of a malty sweetness on that one. So, they look the same in colour appearance. Carbonation wise, pretty much the same. There seems to be a weeny bit more in the American bottle, which also was noted when I opened it. It did seem a little bit higher carbonation. They've been sat same temperature, same location, they were purchased from the same location. Once again you can see visually, not all in the head, but let's go in for the taste. Although it's a lager, it's not a European lager taste. You get the bitter bite from the hops, smoothness from the malt. Yeah, definitely a malty back note. Similar taste, not quite. Does taste more like a Euro lager. Similar hop taste, but doesn't quite have the same hop bite. And there's not quite the same malt sweetness, but they are very similar. This one's much more smoother. Okay, and you can see there's still maintaining the head, there's a little bit of glass lacing. Carbonation still streaming up the glass. This one, carbonation again still being released. Give it a little swirl. We've got some head coming back, but not much. Getting more of the malt now, but it doesn't feel as effervescent. Carbonation is slowing down in this glass. You still get a little bit over your tongue. Hop taste is mellowing out. Okay, that's the English one. Back to the US one. This has got more mouthfeel, more body to it. It's not quite as bitter now as the English version. Both very drinkable. So it's not hard to mix them up. Slightly more carbonation from the US one. Yeah, the English one seems a little bit more bitter. And whether they use the same hops, whether they come from the same source, doesn't matter. Obviously you can't duplicate the water 100%. Obviously they must do something to match the water profile in the US. They'll obviously use the same types of malt, but whether they import those as well and use whatever US malts they make this from, or European malts, but there is a noticeable difference, both in taste and appearance. Colour wise, pretty much bang on. There's not a lot in it. But appearance, obviously the US one's maintained a head. Taste wise they're very close, but there is subtle differences. It's much more smoother, there's a mouthfeel, more body to this. It's sweeter, not by a lot. No. I would say this is probably more easy drinking, it's more mellow. This one is a little bit sharper. Which having said, I think this would possibly appeal more to the English lager drinker than this one. That's just my opinion. But unfortunately the macro lager world I think may choose that one over this one, because this is more what they're familiar with. Whether that's intended for a European or UK taste bud, I don't know. Personally, I'd vote American. This one's more palatable to my taste buds. I'd happily drink either, but knowing what I know now, if someone asks me, I would say, well, yes, they're both good, but if you want the slightly better one, pay the extra 29 pence or whatever and buy the USA version. So sorry, Shepherd Name. It's the same, but it's different. Okay, quick review, just my findings on what my tongue says. My tongue says USA. Cheers, catch you again.